Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today, we will explore how you can save up to 60% of time in systematic literature reviews with Curedatis. So you can sit back, grab a cup of coffee or a beverage of your choice, and let's get ready to learn. I want to give people just another second to join in here. So if you do want to go ahead and grab yourself a drink or a snack, feel free to do so. And also while people join, I'll cover quick housekeeping items. So I have live chat enabled. Down in the Zoom bar, you can see where it says Q&A. You can click on that, and as soon as questions come up, feel free to add them in there. We'll have dedicated time at the end of the webinar to answer them all, or depending on the question, we might put it in between if whatever makes most sense for that. Also, we will send out the recording of this webinar after the webinar is over. If you want to share with colleagues, or if you yourself want to rewatch a specific part, you can do that as well. Okay, got quite a lot of people joining in here, so welcome everyone, and let's get started. So joining me today is the founder of Curedatis, Robert Ratloff. Robert has over a decade of experience in the pharmaceutical and medical device industry and has contributed to several publications in the clinical and regulatory research domain. As Director of Product Development at Research Solutions and founder of Curedatis, Robert is a strong supporter of the open innovation approach and curious about digitization and artificial intelligence solutions. My name is Julia Heeson. I am a Senior Growth Marketing Manager at Research Solutions, and as you already see, I'll be moderating our webinar today. A little bit about Research Solutions. If we click one forward, thank you. For the ones of you that aren't familiar with us yet, founded in 2006, Research Solutions has been on a mission to simplify and streamline how organizations discover, acquire, and manage scientific articles and data. With a suite of innovative products, we are empowering researchers worldwide and transforming the way scientific information is accessed and utilized. I'm also excited to let you know that Research Solutions has recently acquired Resolute AI, an advanced search platform powered by artificial intelligence and natural language processing. Just a little bit more about us. Our commitment to our customers is reflected in a very high customer satisfaction rate. We serve over 1,800 corporate customers, from startups to enterprises, within 68 different industries. We have over 200,000 active users around the globe, and a Net Promoter Score NPS of over 60, which is considerably above the average industry rating. Also want to speak quickly about the comprehensive collection that we have as a company. We have over 85 million journal articles available for instant download. We have 50 million available to rent. We also have over 10 million online book chapters and 20 million more journal articles that are available only in print, but we can scan them on demand if it's what you need. So now with that overview of Research Solutions, I want to hand it over to Robert.
Yeah, hello everybody. I hope I'm audible. So I think Julia introduced me very well, so thank you for this, Julia. Today we want to talk about systematic reviews and especially clinical evaluation reports. So what we have in the European Union for the CE marking process, we have this clinical evaluation reports. And in my former life, I was a medical writer at a contract research organization. So I learned really to do this medical writing, doing systematic reviews. And at this time, I found, oh, that's a really manual process. And I got really addicted to this systematic review because, yeah, I think that's a nice job to dive into various therapeutic areas in medical industry or pharmaceutical industry and medical device industry. So that's why I found that really challenging, but also very motivating all over the time. But at the other end, I was thinking, oh, maybe there's too much of copy pasting, manual methods, and that is also how this time frame of 6 to 12 months for a systematic review is coming up. But in the industry, you need to be much faster because, things are really evolving in a fast speed, and you want to have your regulatory approval or your CE mark out there and to launch your product. So that's why I would like to dive into Curedatis here with only one slide. So we have just this slide here, and then I would like to demo Curedatis and see the Curedatis in action for the systematic literature review and especially for clinical evaluation reports in the medical devices. And during the presentation, you are free to write any comment in the chat, so we can take that in a Q&A session after that. So I would like to make it more at least in the Q&A session, more connected to you, and that you can also ask your questions, and hopefully we can then get feedback also internally if you have any other questions from our other tools, not only Curedatis, but we right now cover really the workflow after we acquired Resolute AI. So we are going from search and discovery, which is also the first item here. So the protocol setup, and then after that you have the search and import of references. So you're well aware in your clinical evaluation report or systematic review, there's a protocol. So you have your search strategy. And in the first place in Curedatis, we would like to search and import the references and maybe check for duplicates, and also have a track record what you have done so that you can easily reproduce your results in the end. So the third box here is titled screening and title abstract. For title and abstracts, and you see this bullet point which I would like to explain you. So here I have a, I would say a standard clinical evaluation report for, you see that in this, how do we call that, in this reference here in the citation. So we have picked up a study from 2016, which shows the effort you need for importing and screening title and abstracts, and then in the next place the full text upload and screening and appraising. So here we calculated that with Curedatis you are 65% faster in total. So, and in this standard a clinical evaluation report with 1,000 abstracts and 100 full text to screen, you save about 40 hours. So that is when you calculate those 200 minutes and 650 minutes, then you will end up with 1 working week, I would say. Depends on how much you work out. That is a lot of time, I think, for a clinical evaluation report, when you can save 1 week and you can do something different or focus on another report. And in the end, in the screening and appraising phase, we have all the items like data extraction and also the critical appraisal, which we also cover in Curedatis. And in the end, we would like to supply you with a summary report, which we call here a synthesis. So you have your search documentation, which is audit ready, then the Prisma flowchart, the appraisal table, or the risk of bias assessment if you do any other kind of systematic review, and also the data extraction table. And of course, you can export your references to write up your report later on. All right. Now I would ask if there are any questions in the chat, so please feel free at this point. But if not, then we dive into Curedatis. Julia, do you see any?
Not yet.
Chat messages? All right. It's a good or bad sign, you never know, but we can go to Curedatis. All right. This is Curedatis. So we have a software as a service platform. You can easily log in via Chrome or any other browser you currently using. And what you see here is your library. So that's my library, not your library, but we have here projects. So maybe these are all my different systematic reviews or clinical evaluation reports. And we will go into one report today. But first of all, what you see on top is really the systematic review workflow, which we have also, which we saw before in the slide. So first of all, we need to set up a project, which is a 1-minute task if you have defined your protocol before. And then next step is the search and import. Then we go to abstract screening, full text screening, and in the end, we have a summary output in various formats. What if we dive here into maybe this total knee arthroplasty, so knee replacement project, where I've imported a lot of references. So what you see here in the basic summary, we have over 500 references imported. And right now we have 27 duplicates identified. So right now you're asking how you identify duplicates. That is maybe via DOI, so the digital object identifier or PubMed ID in the first place, and which are unique. And you have then in the next stage the abstract screening. So I have a lot of pending items. So there's a lot to do, which is good. And also in the full text screening, we have a lot of pending items which we need to screen in full text, but not today, but we are just doing a demo. And you can also invite collaborators in your team. Maybe you're working with a co-medical writer or someone from a different department who has just viewing rights. And you can do that also in Curedatis. You can share your project. All right, then we would like to open this one. I click again.
Robert, we did get a question come in, if you
Oh
don't
yeah,
mind me.
that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. So otherwise I feel like I'm talking to a wall. Yeah. So, but I see at least you, so that's good. Yeah, please.
Perfect. Yes. So the question is, are your literature screening options AI supported? Or is this more of an education of screening you have already performed?
Yeah, so that is AI supported, I would say, so which we see in 5 minutes. So we see how the abstract screening is AI supported. I would say it's not artificial intelligence supported, but it's more augmented intelligence. So you will see that later. So the medical writer or the, I'm not sure. So the maybe regulatory affairs or clinical affairs or whatever you have for your systematic review and doing the job is in full control. So I'm a big fan of the human in the loop approach. So I do not want that we just click a button and then get to a systematic review, which we feel like a black box in the end. So it's right now we are going stage by stage in a way that we also have full transparency of the process. So that is really what I think we need for the regulatory process. Otherwise, it will black box, and we are not sure what the AI is doing in the end. So that's at least my vision right now. Yeah, that's changing with ChatGPT. So if we have time in the end, I would also like to show you a systematic review, which is coming out from ChatGPT. I just did that before the webinar, and it's quite good right now, I would say, but it's not what we would call a scientific sound method, and you cannot submit that to the FDA or to a notified body for approval or for CE marking. So that is where we are not now, but we never know what happens in 1 or 5 years. All right. Hopefully that question is answered, but you will see that in now in 4 minutes. Yeah. All right. Okay, so maybe we're not starting here at search, maybe going what I have already done. That is, I would call our traceability or audit trail in the end. So we have an import history here. You will see all the steps which I have already done in May. It's also January. I'm not sure if that is now my German a date or is that in American, but that depends on your machine if that is set up to European calendars or the US format. All right, but here you can see that. So that's at least in January. But yeah, okay. What we see here is a lot of search queries for different knee implants from different manufacturers. So like Stryker. And maybe here, I think that's another one, but we will see that. So that's not of importance right now for our demo, but you just see I have done a lot from PubMed. And now maybe the question which I would ask is, can you only do PubMed? No, that's not what we just can do. It's also, you can also import your files from Google Scholar, from Cochrane, and from other reference manager like EndNote, Citavi, or Article Galaxy references. Because at Research Solutions, we have also our own reference management tool. So you can really stay in one platform for the whole process. So I think that's a big benefit. But I'm biased, so I work for this company. So, but anyway, so I think that's a big plus for doing a medical or systematic review. All right, but now we did see that we did some imports already, and we have also search alerts. So if you are interested, I go back, sorry. If you're interested in one topic, you can just create an alert here. So I would like to see that is coming up daily. So I will be informed of any new hits in PubMed at least. So that is what we can do. So I just set this up. That should be appear here somewhere. But you see already we have some new publication which I did not import. Yeah, so which I did not import. Yeah, so that's why we just searched this one right now. But I can also import that. But you see that here, and now I can go back and maybe search for them in PubMed.
Robert, is it possible to import data from Embase as well?
Yes, yeah. So that is also many customers in our field, because that was at least in medical device, this was endorsed by the medical MedDev regulation revision. Yeah, so that's not a good word. So in version 4. So and yes, so so many customers are using Embase, and I think they are doing a really nice job, Embase. So yes, we are supporting this because that is a must criteria also for some customers out there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So yes, we can import a RIS file. So that is most of the times we import RIS files from Embase. All right. Any other question? I see now 4 messages, but yeah, feel free, because that is making this more interactive. So I like that.
Perfect. Yeah, we actually do have one more. It's more of a comment. It says, let's say we need to conduct the same search every year. For example, the annual CER update. Can we retrieve the previous year's search and just change the start and end date and rerun it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so that is exactly how the search alert, because I'm well aware that we are doing this for risk class 3, at least in the European Union, every year, depending on how risky and innovative that product is, and based on your notified body. But yes, so that is exactly because the initial project in Curedatis takes longer than the updated one. So I think that is the big advantage of a system like Curedatis, so that you can run your initial one and then you have done your job, but then you can really speed up in the next one. So that is even maybe you're saving more than 60% of your screening task time, yeah, because you have already set it up and then you just need to screen. You have all your labels, all your text, exclusion criteria, and that is really easy. And I think that's a big plus to work not in Excel, because that can really is not. Yeah, we are working with a database and not a spreadsheet format. So that's why I think that's a big benefit.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Should we proceed right now and then we save that? Because otherwise, yeah, maybe it's also good. Maybe we need next time a Q&A session. So that's also what we could do. So an expert table, because I like to hear also our prospect or customer feedback. But if we have now this PubMed search, then we check the import. So right now we would expect there are some duplicates. Say duplicates or duplicates? Well, it's not clear. All right, but you see that because we have already imported some, and now we just import them. And again, we have a full traceability of what we are doing. So we have 36 valid ones. And you can see that what we have done. So we go now to the import history, and hopefully they are here. So live demos are always challenging because something can go wrong, but not today. So here, yeah. So we have those 36 valid references and then all the duplicates. So we have everything is stored inside the system. So while you are doing your job, you do not need to document somewhere else in an Excel sheet or maybe in your reference tool. So everything is stored really in Curedatis. All right. So that is what we have. And yeah, again, so we can also import other files from Cochrane library and so on. But maybe this is something we can also, we are happy to, if you reach out to us, so then we will also give you a demo based on your needs and your search database. But this is very different from customer to customer. Some are using Embase, some are using Google Scholar or Cochrane. All right. Good. I think that's it for the search and import. If you have any questions for this topic, so then I'm happy to answer those. Are there any search and import related ones? Can you see that? Or are we good?
It looks like we've got questions answered so far.
Good. All right. Next step is the abstract screen. So yeah, I think that was basic in the search and import. So that is what you would like to see, hopefully. So, but again, reach out to us if you have any further requirements. Maybe they are already in the making. So, and what we see here, maybe we go to our new imports, which are starting here with 21. We are going here. Okay, so that is our new abstracts, which we just imported. And what you see here is underlined, so that is AI driven. So maybe I turn off the keyword dictionaries here, if there are any. But if you see, so we have introduced in Curedatis, because I found that really relevant, or it's relevant, it's also in the Cochrane guidelines. So the picoterms are one of the key measures when you define a relevance for your article. So I think I do not need to educate you here, because some of you are maybe more expert than me. But we have an AI-driven PICO recognition. So we would like to identify the population involved in this abstract, then the intervention, comparison, and outcome. And what you see here is underlining means the AI has discovered something. So we can, as a human in loop, because I told you before, so I'm a fan of that. So we can now go to the abstract and say, okay, that is now our intervention. Maybe we choose this one, yeah. So the peak prosthesis, and how many patients do we have? Maybe we go to population. So we have 48 patients. So that is not just a case series. So it's a randomized controlled trial. And I'm not sure if I have applied a dictionary here. So we can also mark any other label. Yeah? So I can also go here and mark that as a label. If I just close that and select all, you will see that I made a mistake here. So population, so it's green. But if you click on that, then it will turn into a fully highlighted a bit of the text. So if we also go here to the outcome, so that is in blue. So if we click that one, so it will turn into into a fully highlighted, not only underlined. So that means we are extracting also the information. So you should be faster when you screen your abstracts. Maybe you're just focusing on the population, so you can get rid of all the other stuff here, and then just going for, okay, you want to see a TKA and randomized controlled trials. And then what you later see is it's the AI part, and you confirm that. And then you will see that later in your data extraction. So I go to the last slide. And you will see that here in our overview, you have a column called annotation. So we click that. We want to see what's in there. And then you have a full list of the population details, which you have confirmed. So it's nothing only about AI. So you have already confirmed that this is your information you need. So we're going from unstructured text in the abstract and in the full text to a structured output. So this would make your writing up your report easy, and also you have that stored in the database. Yeah, so that is the key components also of Curedatis, because you have curated information in your database. So any question about the iPad, because sometimes you need to think about that, maybe 1 or 2 minutes or even a day. And maybe you need to trial Curedatis to fully understand what's inside those PICO terms, and also the dictionaries, which you can specify on your own. So, yeah. Okay, but yeah. Any question? Oh, no, because I see. Oh. Can ask also the hard questions and maybe challenge me. But yeah, in the end, you will see that what is the product here. So that's a Simmer and Striker something. And we have also notes here. You can then, maybe you want to do a competition watch. So that's now, not sure what is that. Maybe Simmer is then, I'm not sure really. And Vanguard, this one, and maybe leave for your product management colleague something. PM, please check. Marketing claims or something. Yeah, so you can also claims. So that's what you can do. And yeah, maybe you want to also add something here. But yeah, maybe that's up to your use case. So it's not only for systematic reviews and clinical evaluation, but you can also do other stuff here, like claim, watching the competition, and also claim verification. All right, and then in the end, the major task here for abstract screening is include or exclude. So right now, we want to confirm all annotation first, because the AI did a good job, we think. So include them. Then it goes to the next one, and this would be really a speedy process. Maybe we are just looking on if there are more than 100 patients. So that's good. So again, good, and all the outcomes are here, which we are looking for. Next one. So, and this is, so there's also follow up. Maybe you want to have that as a label here. But again, so this is just importing, exporting, and then we have that enhanced by Pico labeling or your keyword dictionaries, which you can specify on your own, which is single text file. All right, good. And maybe we exclude the next one because of some reasons, maybe. I'm not sure which one. Maybe that's just a case. A case. It's not even a case series. It's just a case report. 2 packs up 11.1. So that's a funny title. So relevant topic. No, we just want to have a new one because we forgot that in setting up in the setup phase. So now we have a new exclusion criteria. Maybe that's called case. I missed the name. It's not a case series. It's a case report. I have it. So we do not want to have any case reports inside our systematic review or clinical evaluation. So I put that here. So and I can now collect that, and then I cannot click on include because that's true because I've already an exclusion criteria. So I exclude this one. Yeah. So and then we see that later in the summary. So we have full track record. All right. If there are no questions, so it's fun to annotate something, I feel, but yeah, and include. All right, but yeah, let's move on to the next one. If we have no questions, I just wait to drink something. So then we move on to the full text screening. So right now we have added some new references. So right now we want to order something because now we have a core product called Article Galaxy. If some of you are not already customers of Article Galaxy or users, so then we would like to order PDF at first. So I have already ordered some, but we would like to do that ordering the PDFs. Maybe let's see if we have any open access. So that looks good. So right now we do not want to have any. Oh, that's good. So we just order the open access ones right now for our review. So in the real world, I would order also those with a copyright fee and place the order. So and now you see that you have an order ID, and this will be stored in Article Galaxy in your PDF library. So if you are also a user of Article Galaxy, you will have that then in your PDF library. All right, so, but you do not need to go to Article Galaxy. It's just integrated fully in Curedatis. But if you are not an Article Galaxy user, we also would like to support you and maybe convert them later to Article Galaxy customer. But right now, so you can also upload PDFs. You just click on the DOI link and then log in. But we also support subscription. So there are many possibilities which we can also discuss in a demo with you. But yeah, so maybe if we go ahead and would like to showcase the available stuff here. So we start screening. So that is what we do in full text screening. And you will see hopefully a PDF upcoming. And we have our annotation tool here. So there's also no need to open Adobe or any other PDF viewer. So we have directly integrated a nice annotation tool where you can also highlight something or also extract data. Yeah, so that is, we have the data extraction form. So that is one thing which you can do. So maybe we are looking for the patient. What is that about? Socioeconomic. Oh, that's maybe not the best one, but let's look what they have here. Maybe how many patients do they have? I cannot see that. Maybe that's. Here's something. Cannot see that. Right now, I'm not sure. Is it out of? So that is when I talk to live demos. We need to cut that out, Julia. All right, but what we would like to see is the age of the patients. But anyway, so we have, maybe we can make some random data here. So we have an age of 69 here, so an average age, and the region is for maybe for US because it's talking about Medicaid. So that's US region, and the patient numbers are, at least we have 44 studies, maybe we have something here. Yeah, so we just call that maybe over 500. Yeah, but that is what you need to confirm. So you need to extract data here, and you can exactly do that via this extraction template, which you can also add something here like maybe for the population, if you have any. What else can we do? Pharmacokinetics does not mean so. Yeah, are they doing any sports? Maybe that's your special topic. If they are involved in any sports activity or rehab, maybe that's better. Rehab. Are they doing rehabilitation? Okay, but then that is what you have here. Maybe that's not applicable for this one, and this as well, because we cannot find this. Maybe I would like to exclude that, but right now for the demo I include that. And then you have your appraisal questions. So this is if you are well aware of this medical device systematic review, so clinical evaluation reports. We have the IMDRF table here, so which is incorporated in Curedatis, but you can also upload your own appraisal table or risk of bias template. Yeah, but that is what we have pre-populated here, and you can click through those questions and appraise your publication, and that is what you will see later as well. I confirm that and then moves on to the next one. So here I have something already in. Then I show you the annotation feature as well. Yeah, maybe here. So that's a good one. So you can highlight this one or also maybe underline something for someone else. And then leave a comment here. So that's also possible for this one. Yeah, again, our marketing team. Leave something. And you can also extract data here. Yeah, so that will also show up later in the we call that computation right now. You will see that later in our summary. So that is what you can do here, data extraction, then the nodes, maybe that's the Vanguard, that's a good one. So we pick that here. So we have that already in our text system, which you will see later in the summary. And we include that, then the system will ask us, do we want to praise that? Yes, and then we do that really quick for the demo here. What was this? Maybe it's also, oh, that was a randomized control join, maybe, and confirm. And that's it. Yeah, and then you move on and extract what you want and appraise what you need to appraise. And again, so everything is in one system and stored. And what you get out is then in the end a summary report. So that's the basic one. Maybe we want to see first what we have already done. So that's inside the Prisma flowchart. So how many records did we identify in the different search databases? So right now we have only searched in PubMed, but you, as we talked about before, we can also get that from Embase, from Cochrane, and from other databases like Google Scholar as well. And how many records have we been identified? How many of them were removed? That is what you find here. So automatically 80 because of the duplicate removal. And then also the records we have already screened in abstract screening, so more than 100, and the number of records we excluded. So you see that we have 6, but we have only 4 with an exclusion criteria. So it's also allowed to not provide any exclusion criteria. So there's one record which we did not provide any exclusion criteria, which is all right, I think, for the abstract screening, but that depends on your process. But in the full text, we provide every, you need to provide, an exclusion criteria. And then how many records we have included in the full text screening. So these are 9. All right, and you can download that as a P and as a graphic file, and you can copy paste that into your report and then update that in your ongoing systematic reviews. And then what we have also done was the appraisal table. So that's what you see here in a structured output. And you can export that to a CSV file and process this one in Excel or in your own data analysis tool. So whatever you have, maybe you have some statistics, which is more relevant for the data extraction table, which it's just the beginning. So we did only one, I think, this one here. But you can also do that for many more. And then you have really can create your statistics out of that for maybe a meta-analysis and stuff like this. But in the end, this is the overview of what you have done already. If it allows me, here we go. You have your text, so that was our competition products maybe, or our own product, depends on which share you are sitting. And then the annotations for the population intervention, comparison, outcome, study design, implants. And there was one we created. I think that was this competition. I think that was the one we just created in the full text screening. And I also created this product management, please. All right. But this is most of them, and you can export that as a CSV file, and then we have you have your references. All right. Any questions so far?
Yeah, we do have a question. So the question is, can your software recognize trade names in full text search? This information is typically not included in abstracts. And continuing the question, it says, specifically, could you batch search all downloaded articles for any that include a trade name or other term rather than search each individually?
Yes, but not in Curedatis. I think I'm not the product owner of Article Galaxy, so I need to get in contact with our product owners for Article Galaxy. I think that is what we at least have. Yeah, so I cannot talk about that too much, but so that is, I think, a well-known use case. So I'm happy to receive that also here in this call. So I think we need to do something here because you would like to know before maybe you if you have already downloaded it, then there should be a full text search capability. But what we have here, the annotation tool only supports that for one a full text. But in the end, so we are also happy to get such feedback so that we can also focus our development on features our customers need. So that's why I'm really happy to receive that, and I think that's something I will also prioritize because I think today I heard that twice. So that's a good sign.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question, Julia? Or?
Nope, that's it for now.
All right, please. Do you have any other questions? So going back to this slide, maybe. So we had here the minutes saved. So mainly, I think that's because of the documentation you save and also the PICO recognition and also the data extraction later in the screening and appraisal phase, because you have everything what you need for your protocol in Curedatis. So that's why we save about, that is what our internal studies say, 60% of this task. So right now, we would like to support you in writing up the reports, which is the next step. So that is also in the making, I would say. And hopefully we can also get more customers happy with this workflow, and then we proceed to the next one. So depending on the feedback, if so, I would also like to hear if this is really something medical writers and other users of Curedatis would like to see, if they would really like to give the work of writing up scientific content and evidence to a machine, more and more. So that's like, do you want to drive your own in a car, or do you want to drive with an, I do not want to have any brand names here, but an autonomous car, like maybe a Tesla. All right, that is something. Are the people interested maybe in see ChatGPT? How does that look? So that's what is the time schedule, Julia? Do we have time for that, or?
I do think we have a little bit of time for that.
Let's
do it. And if any other questions come up in the meanwhile, everyone, feel free to add them in the chat or in the Q&A section, and then we'll get to those as well.
All right, so then we leave the Curedatis space and go to ChatGPT, which, yeah, I think just we need to get some experience here, but it's, I think, not validated and scientific proven for our use case. So what I did before our webinar, maybe that's the storyline, is first of all, I have an account at ChatGPT. So I asked the system, what are the recent scientific trends in materials and designs for total knee arthroplasties? So that was my question. And then ChatGPT started to chat with me. So that was the last knowledge update. So that's, yeah, that's a long time ago, I would say, maybe for this version. And but then it really, I think it does a good job for drafting something. So you get a good overview, at least. If you are not in this space, you can get some keywords. And then maybe I found this really interesting here, surface coatings, this one. And then I asked again, so the next question was, could you please write a state-of-the-art chapter for knee implant surface coatings, which complies with the European medical device regulation? So that was more challenging, I think, for ChatGPT. Yeah, and then he's very friendly as well. So yes, he will do that, or she, or it, yeah. And then it starts like ChatGPT. Chapter X is something like we want to see introduction, regulatory landscape, and then the types of surface coatings. So also, again, it's a draft, I think, and not scientifically proven because I challenged the system after it does a good overview job, but it's not compliant, I think, with the medical device regulation, because you can see that my next question. And also, they have now, or not now, but I see that more often for medical questions. Please note that the above chapter is a general example and should be reviewed. So they are also doing some risk management here, because it's not something which you can just hand in. Yeah. So I talked again to ChatGPT. Great. However, you missed the scientific references. So otherwise, you cannot just write up something. Could you please provide them? And then, oh yeah, apologize for not including references. Here's the sample chapter on knee implant surface coatings with scientific reference. And then it started really to rewrite the stuff, and in the end, so where do we see something here? Yeah, so it really provided references. But now the next step, which I did not do, is to check if this references are also there, because sometimes that's a known issue of large language models. They are making something up, which is called, I missed that term right now. Maybe someone in the chat can do that. Not hallucinating, yeah. So that large language model making something up, and I did see that in former requests. So I could not find the link anymore, or it was a reference which was not there. Yeah, so that's just making something up because of the model is not built for this specific purpose. But I think in the end, so congratulations, OpenAI, because they did a great job in at least drafting something which is of value, but maybe not for our special use case, systematic reviews and clinical evaluation reports. So I think, yeah, so but that is what they make clear in their disclaimer. But it's nice to use it for a draft, and also in marketing. I think it's good. It's very useful to get a start, yeah, because that is the hardest job. All right. Any experience from the audience with large language models and AI? So that I would like to hear as well. We can also unmute you if you want, I think, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, feel free to write it in the chat, and if you want to unmute yourself, just let me know and I can help you with that.
All right.
So far, nothing. Yeah.
All right, so then that's what I would like to present today. Hopefully there is value for the audience, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's get back to the slide just for a second, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
So for all of you, if you liked what you saw and you would like a follow-up demo, maybe a more personalized one with your specific use case, or you have additional questions that come up later, I'm adding a link in the chat right now. if you click here, once you fill out the form, you'll automatically get like a little pop-up to book time directly that fits into your schedule. Or if you would prefer email communication, we can definitely do that as well. So feel free to head over there. And you can also request a free 14-day trial with Curedatis. So yeah, head over there if that sounds good to you. And with that being said, if any last minute questions pop up, this is the perfect time. Okay, we did get a question. Perfect. Could you elaborate a bit more about the AI-driven Pico recognition? Is it a built-in functionality or does it require user input to set it up? I'm asking that in context of review projects where the Pico framework does not fit well. For example, qualitative research.
Yeah, so so this is a freezed model. So we have a pre-built large language model. So it's in the way freezed because of our regulatory purpose. So it will not be at least right now self-learning, and it's fitting very well for medical devices and pharmaceutical research. So that's what I can say. But I think that is why we are maybe Julia, you want to say that also in the end. Please reach out if you want to have a demo and also a trial, so you can really test that in your use case. Because if there's no need for this Pico terms, you can also set up your keywords with ontologies and terminologies inside Curedatis. But I saw there's a huge value for pharmaceutical research and also for medical devices and in vitro diagnostics. So that is what I can see based on the experience I got from Curedatis and also from our customers. So that's not just a personal view, it's also from our customer base. So it's fitting very well. But yeah, depends on your use case. If I can learn more about that, I would be happy if we can reach out as well.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, you can head over to that link or hit reply to the email that you received, and then we can take that offline or online again, a separate call. Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your questions. Thank you so much, Robert, for showing us Curedatis and the additional ChatGPT. Very interesting and cool to play around with that. Yeah,
sure.
Thanks, everyone, for joining, and have a great rest of your day or afternoon, and we'll be in touch.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. Bye.